Thanks for staying with us. We have Oji, who's been holding for Ikoyi. Thanks for calling. You're live. Hello, Oji.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead, please. You're live. Listen to me, not the TV. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
Listening to you ladies, it makes it obvious for anyone to understand that we have so much gaps in the marital institution and the marital society in the country. As of today, so much emphasis has been paid on developing the girl's child on how to be a perfect wife, and little emphasis on grooming the young man to be an excellent husband. The marriage institution today is fantastic. I can tell you that. I've been married for over 25 years. And today, my daughters wish they could get married at 22. In fact, my wife keeps telling them to slow down. The reason is because they watch the way me and my wife run our home, the way we relate as husband and wife, and they want to be married into that same kind of environment.
Right.
Now, but the biggest challenge is that most females are not even self-aware of who they are, because if you don't know who you are, you will not know what you're worth, and then you won't also know what you deserve. And if you are not self-conscious, you can't have your own standards. And because you're not self-conscious and you don't have your own standards, every John, Paul, Andrew that comes around becomes either a husband or a boyfriend. If you set your own standards in life to even achieve as a person in life, it's natural. The man will align to that. I still do not believe that a woman has any financial responsibility in the home. I'm a Christian. The Bible didn't design it that way. The man has his responsibilities clearly cut out for him. The woman has her responsibilities clearly cut out for her. So if a man is married to a woman that contributes even a dime to the house, it's what you call jala in the market. That cannot be the fundamental basis
So,
for running the home.
Mr. Oji, to have a good,
Yes.
robust conversation with you. So, in your own situation, it looks like an ideal situation. But there are so many men, young, they get married, maybe because they don't have a job, but let's just say they have a job. But they see that this girl is somebody from a rich home, and maybe they feel that, okay, her father's connections, her mother's connection can help them. So a young man marries this girl, right? Now they get married, and 5 years down the line, the dynamics changes. The man is now empowered. He now has money. He now has his own financial stability. And the girl, because she has chosen to submit to this man, she doesn't have a job. She's now totally, completely submissive to him. He, realizing that 5-10 years down the line, she's like, you know what? This girl is not the person I really wanted to marry. I only married her because I needed her father's connection. Now I am empowered. She hasn't worked in 10 years. I don't need her anymore. I don't want to renew. And I wait for my 20 year. And I say, okay, it has ended. We have 3 children together. We're fine. We're done. 20 years, I'm moving on. Shouldn't that be allowed? Say, okay, the man says, I'm done because in reality, I never really wanted to marry you, but I needed your father's connection. Now I'm financially independent. I don't need you anymore. Can't he face that reality and then move on to somebody he really loves, and let the woman move on to somebody who really loves her? Instead of faking it and just staying together forever. Yes.
Let me talk to you as a man. The first thing every woman deserves is not love.
Okay. Yes.
First thing every woman deserves is respect.
Okay.
And in respect, you have to earn it.
Okay.
I always tell my daughters and most females around me, you must develop yourself first as an individual. It has nothing to do with a man.
Okay.
You must first of all groom yourself as a human being. Add value to your life as a human being. Men are attracted to values.
Value.
Forget about sex. Sex is 5,000 naira on the street. It has no connection to the success of marriage. So if you decide to settle with a man, it's because you found someone you love. And because you have developed yourself as a human being first, it will naturally attract respect for you as a person. So that's why it beats me. And let me even tell you this. For every one single marriage you hear that broke up, there are over 1,000 that are successfully happy.
True.
It's just that bad news sells faster. In the clique of my friends, we have 1 or 2 who have had marital issues. But most of my friends have a fantastic marriage. In fact, we encourage ourselves. We are very close to ourselves. Our wives are close to each other. We've built that kind of, and I know a lot of groups are like that. So it is not an average standard. So me, I'm not using myself as a template because I know that it exists. I saw my family, my parents grow. I know my uncles, I know my aunties, I know those having issues, and I know those having fantastic marriage. The average permutation is not in a parallel line. The successful marriages way outweigh the ones that are not successful.
Okay.
It's just that bad news sells. Now, going back to what you said, if an average woman can understand to develop and groom herself, that's why you go to school. That's why you learn trade. That's why you do something for yourself. You're not doing it because you want to end up with a man as an independent woman or a financially stable woman. No, you're doing it because you're a human being first. But then when you end up in a man's house, there's the way men react.
But Mr. Oji,
if a man knows that
Mr.
this woman,
some women spend time doing that. But when they do that, they now seem overvalued. So the men are even finding it difficult to approach them because she has developed herself so well. Because I know a lot of parents who also raise their girls like you, like you're raising your girls, and they'll be so educated, so exposed, so independent that men start getting scared of them.
Can I amaze you?
Please.
It's not every man that deserves a woman. It's not every man that deserves a woman.
Okay.
You are always advised in life to cut your coat according to your material. How can you end up with a woman that you have a complex against because she's growing as a person? If you switch that woman to become your daughter, would you want your daughter to also grow?
Thank you.
So women should, that's why I say women should also have their own standard as humans. That's why you do courtship, because you need to understand who you are getting married to. What are his values? What are his principles? What are his drive for life? He could even be at the point where he has nothing. You can see those things. You see, one of the biggest problems women have is self-denial. The handwritings are always written clearly on the wall. But they keep hoping. They attend what God cannot do does not exist. They attend this church, they attend all that, and all manner of jargons have jumped into their head, and they lose focus of the fact that you must clearly be true to yourself. There are certain things an average woman should not put up with. So if the values and principles of the man is not aligning with yours, you can tell. There are tell signs. Look around him. How does he relate to his siblings, his neighbors, his workers, even the waitresses that in restaurant? He cannot treat you any different from the way he treats those people.
Okay.
So, but because of that fear of the unknown, I've caught a man. No, I don't want to do this one. No, let me see if I can manage him. You end up in a mess.
Thank you very much.
But that's not saying that some people don't appear perfect. Some people do appear perfect, and somewhere along the line they change. But if you have developed yourself as a person, you can never be stranded in life as a woman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oji. Appreciate your comments. Thank you so much.
Good.
Thank you.
Some parts good, some parts.
Let's take a few comments on social media.
I just need to take. Hey, what happened? Moses Ade's comment. It says most women have a bucket list of attributes they desire from men. However, do they know which is important? And he specifically asked me to read out that comment. So
please read it again.
It says most women
have a list, but
have a list of attributes they desire in men.
Yeah.
However, do they know which of these attributes?
The top priority, which should be priority?
It depends on the person. It's relative because people have different desires, different needs. Some people are only looking for somebody who can take care of them. Others are looking for somebody who can stay, who takes family as priority. There's some people that come from homes where family is all they know, and some people desire that. You know, I know that for me that was crucial because I come from a polygamous home and I saw that division of different children. Today, Saturday you're here, Sunday you're there. You know, like there was a lot of scattering thing. But I then grew up with our next door neighbor, Mrs. Adeshoko, had a family. They were a nuclear family. I love that she goes to work and come back. Both of them come home. They pray together. Until Uncle comes home with shawarma from Ikoyi Club. He shares it with the kids. And there's TV and we sit down. I just loved that family. And that was my own prayer point. As I'm seeing this Adeshoko family, that is what I want. I don't want this my polygamous brouhaha. I don't want it. So I was very careful. Even though people in my mother's circle, because she's a Muslim and they all have friends were second wife, third wife, first wife. They all had that. Different people. They will see me. Marital is Kiniko's wife. Kiniko is Kiniko. You know, they're already poaching me. In my mind, I'm like, hey, forget about it. I'm not going into that circle. This is my circle. You know. So it was for me. That was crucial.
Okay. So God's
everybody
power
has their own different.
Sorry, Amaka. I just wanted to ask. Since that was okay, you had the Adeshokos, to compare.
Yes.
Okay. Because I was going to, if that was the life you knew, why was...
No, they were, no, I had a model that I was seeing.
Yes, and that's why, like, we keep saying, like, she had the standard that she wanted for herself. She didn't want to go into polygamy because she didn't like that. She wanted this other family. So that it boils down to the same thing. Like, you as a human being, you need to be intentional about what you want. You need to set standards for yourself and your life. It's clear. It's simple. People should have standards. Whatever that standard is, you should have a standard.
So if you don't get married at the age of 50 or 55, whilst having your standard, you shouldn't fault anybody.
Exactly.
And you shouldn't get depressed, nobody, because you've created a standard and you are fine, and you hold it with your full chest that I'm still single, I am proudly single at 60.
I'm really confused about what Mr. Oji said. Mr. Oji mentioned that men get attracted to value.
Yes.
And he also said that sex is like a minor thing in marriage. It doesn't, it's 5,000 naira on the street. So how would you marry somebody with high value, keep her in your house, and go and get 5,000 naira sex outside?
No, he's not trying to say that. He's not trying to diminish that. You need to understand what he's trying to say. He's trying to say like that sex, you shouldn't put so much priority on sex. Sexual compatibility.
You shouldn't put priority on sex, but they are still going outside to look for what the inside cannot bring, and there is no priority, and we are not talking about it.
I'm not a man, so I can't answer
but because
that.
these things are...
Because I think men, we must never remove sex being important in a marriage. Sex is very important, especially unless the man is...
Sex is overrated, but yeah.
It's
overrated.
But there are marriages there are women that are complaining of sexless marriage. But now, please hold on.
Those
there are
men
women that
are getting the sex outside.
There are women that are
we don't have. You see, there's no guarantee they are. That's what you think, and that's what society makes us believe. But there's no guarantee.
Did you hear what I said?
I'm telling you guys is overrated.
Muna, did you hear what I said?
I heard you very clearly, and I'm telling you that there's no guarantee that he's looking at it outside.
The hottest business in this Nigeria and the short-time joints. Go to any hotel. Drive. Now they even take per night the Ikoyi ones, the Lekki people.
Let me give you a scenario.
I'm
removing my watch for you. I'm trying to make you
remove that watch.
Sometimes some emotions you need to explain. There are some men that see their wives as mothers, nurturers, co-pilots in this journey of life. They don't see you as a sex symbol anymore because you've worn this cloak of I am the mother of the house. And some women are comfortable in that cloak. And they take on that marriage and they're fine in that cloak that I am the mother and we are both of us, we have a mission to raise this family. Now, the man, knowing that sex is 5,000 naira on the street, if he needs that that kind of sexy idol,
shadow style,
he knows where to go and find it. And the woman is not upset because she is herself. She's focused on other things. There's the mother-in-law issues. There is family issues. There's inheritance problem. There are children's school fees. There are matters. So everybody has the assumption that sex is so important that to break a marriage is a false assumption. People make it look as if it's a claim, but it's not. I know because she's making it look as if without sex, marriage will break. I'm saying there are marriages without sex that are functional.
The marriages without sex that are functional. One, a lot of the women now go and get it outside because the husband is not giving them in the house.
Saying the same thing.
So they will go and get it outside. So a lot of women now.
In fact, some younger boys, do you know that some younger boys say they prefer to engage with married women because they know that she will be no stress. No pregnancy, no calling me, no bossing me around. So women are now more outside than even the married men.
Because I said if we don't have this conversation,
and the two people that put themselves together as for better, for worse, for stay, and they are not even doing it together. So wing A is going outside, wing B is going outside.
Exactly.
Then who is fooling who?
Then what is the
come back and make it feel like
marriage?
If you ask lawyers, divorce lawyers on if you put them on the spot, divorce lawyers. I have friends that are divorce lawyers, and one of them is saying that he's treating the case that how would two people sleep with each other in 6 years? Oga confided that yes, I'm doing it outside. Iyawo confided that yes, I have a sugar boy. So what is you people's problem? Okay, go apart. But they are refusing to realize that it is the lack of sex that is actually breaking and eating deep into their miscommunication. Because there are a lot of times that when you are the do point, there are things that you will exchange matters, things will talk, you guys are more relaxed. But now it's not happening. So there will be hostility. And another thing that I feel that maybe we should work on or we should look at is, I feel that submission is not slavery. Some people take...
Now it's a different conversation.
No, that's what I'm saying. Some people take slavery for submission. That you have to slave. When a man says, oh, she's not submitting, it doesn't mean that the woman cannot have a willpower or the woman cannot insist that this is what I want. And it becomes that she's not submission. There are some crucial issues that break marriage or that people look out for. A man I cannot talk to, a man that cannot understand me. You are looking for a man to think for you. How many men really want to think for you? That they don't want you to think for them. Look at the people in the homes. When you're asking your husband, what do you want to eat? And he says anything. Then you bring anything and say, oh, I don't want to eat this one.
Wrap up on
and
this conversation.
Their dynamics.
I just want you to know. I just want to reiterate.
Their dynamics.
Reiterate.
Sex in marriage is important. And if your husband is not giving it to you, he's doing it outside. If your wife is not giving it to you, she's doing it outside. So start to question yourselves. Now.
At the same time, there are homes who are doing it without, and both husband and wife are holy, they are not cheating, and they are happy ever after. Let's not always have this blanket generalization that everybody without sex, it's not that everybody's married and break.
Those ones, the ones that are not, maybe they have other problems that
they are not revealing.
But let me bring it back to our topic.
We have to go back.
So that I can just in the sense that at the end of the day, just be intentional about your happiness. Have your own standards, whatever that standards might mean to you, because standards will guide you either whichever decision or choices you want to make. And that is all we can take on this segment.
Sex is important.
Realistic standard.
You know, there's a pastor's wife that told me once many years ago, Mariel, Kasinka, come there. I don't mind them. They're just lying. There's not sin there. Go to break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.